Welcome back to Keep Expecting Miracles. I am Ilissa.
And I'm Jessica.
How are you doing today, Jessica?
I'm good. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
really good. It's May
hmm
and it's Taurus season still. So
hmm And it's Portal Day. We're recording this on 5
five,
5
five, five.
25.
Yeah. Fun fact. Jessica and I recorded our very first episode of our beta 1.0 podcast, which had a totally different name on 55, but it was 2023, so it's literally 555.
hmm
And it was like we started recording at 11 p.m. right,
It
and
was late.
we didn't
And it was
stop
like two
until like
hours long.
1 a.m. We're like, we're gonna like, I think, did I take a gummy?
I
Maybe
we
I
were
should.
both we were both under the influence, okay? We were both
Yeah,
heavily under the
I
influence.
might
So
need
we
to
were just
cut
like
that out. Yeah, so the conversation just went, we're like, we're just gonna talk.
and we did, and we didn't stop.
I literally talked for probably 20 minutes straight, like just straight, and Jessica did not stop me. I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about?
hmm
It was crazy. So that's funny. What was the name of that podcast? I can't even remember that.
Good morning, goddess.
Good morning, goddess. We had to change that because
hmm
I mean we can just go ahead and say it started with the name, the word good,
hmm
and we didn't want to be too similar to our other favorite podcast that features moms called Good Moms Bad Choices. In
Exactly.
their whole brand is about good media, good vibe retreat, um
hmm
Good Moms Bad Choices. So we're like, nah, they're probably gonna think that we're like trying to take off of them, but we really weren't. It was unconscious,
hmm
but we're like, let's just go ahead and change
But
that.
see, I'm glad that you had that inclination to change it because a lot of the times, um, people just be like, "Oh, that sounds good," and just go
Yeah.
with it. And because we greet each other, saying "Good morning, goddess," we it just felt right.
Yeah.
It felt right, and I almost didn't want to change it, but then I do recognize I'm like, they have influenced us, and we are like they have influenced us a lot and have been fully a part of our healing.
Mhm.
um
Mhm.
and so it's only right that we respect and honor them by not using the word that they use on every single part of their branding.
Right. Right. Shout out to Erica and Mila. We love you guys.
Yes, we do.
But yeah. And then it evolved to Black Goddess Rising.
Yes.
We're like, we're black goddesses and blah, 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 blah,
hmm
BGR. And it was good when we thought about it. But then as time went on, I was like, no,
Yeah,
no.
I like that one too.
Yeah, I liked it, but I just felt like it just didn't last. It wasn't a lasting,
hmm
it was like just for the moment.
hmm
It,
And we also wanted something that people would hear, and it would be like almost like an affirmation, like affirmative.
yes.
So this name is like keep expecting miracles. Like I can just say that whenever, and it's like you're not just mentioning, like we're affirming ourselves while talking about the entity that the podcast is.
Yes.
It's like double the fun,
Yes. 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 And now my license plate has a form of that in it. I'm not going to say my license plate, but I do have the initials in my license plate
Yes,
now.
I
So
love
it's
it.
official.
hmm
It's lasting. It's like, but I knew I wanted the name to be, I think we talked about this already, but I wanted the name to be like a phrase,
hmm
I'm like, now we got to get this thing trademarked too. Cause just like with Next Level Soul, his podcast, he said he went into meditation
hmm
and one of his spirit guides told him like Next Level Soul, because he
hmm
specifically said it has to be a name that nobody has. It can't be trademarked. He has to have all the handles. And that's one of the things when you start a business, you're like, okay, does anybody own the the handles or the website, like
hmm
all the websites? Nobody had Next Level Soul for him.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
and this is the same with us. Keep expecting miracles. Nobody has it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
divinely
that's
guided.
interesting. Exactly.
Yes, yes. We have done a beautiful series on nourishing our mind, our bodies, our spirits, and we want to talk about transition, taking care of ourselves, specifically nourishing all of those aspects of ourselves during periods of transition. Both
Mm-hmm.
Jessica and I are currently experiencing transition. I've been in a transitionary year, uh, with literally every, I feel like every aspect of my life. And Jessica's going through one right now too. And so we just wanted to talk more about that and just share how we're taking care of ourselves during these periods, because it's kind of rough.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind
Mm-hmm.
of rough. So what transitionary periods are you going through right now, Jessica?
Yeah, one I was excited to talk about this because I do meet so many people, so many customers, so many women, so many black women who are just in a perpetual state of transition, and they're just like, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go. Just give me some tea. What's going to help me? What like what can you say to me? What, like, I just, need help, because we have to keep going, especially if when you're a mother. I mean, you don't even have to be a mother. If you have a full-time job, you always got to take care of somebody.
Yeah.
Even if you're taking care of a parent, right? You
Yeah.
have to just, at like one of our first episodes of the nourishment series, taking care of yourself
Hmm.
outside of what you're doing for others. And so my transition has been a big one, something that I have never been through before,
Hmm.
which is the end of a relationship, of course, my marriage, basically. And so that's a huge, huge life change, um, a huge thing. And so I have just been, it's of course, it's been
Mm.
extremely spiritual.
How so?
Um, because, everything has come to me through dreams, through, like, I had this podcast with the stuff that we talk about on here, and even a lot of the ideas that you come up with has been very healing for me, because it's like making me address and look at things that I have not even looked at or addressed.
Mm.
And so it sparks that question within me, right? When we have
Yeah.
these topics that we have to talk about, it sparks a question within me where it's like, well, am I doing this for myself? Wait, have I been doing whatever? Has this been happening? Like, I have to look inside and do that deep
Yeah.
self-reflection.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to do that on your own. It's another thing to do it so that you have something to tell somebody.
Yeah,
you
that is
know?
true. That
Um,
is true. So the podcast has been an area
mhm.
of been a way of nourishing yourself and taking care of yourself.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
right. And cuz talk therapy,
Hmm.
that's what it is.
But
Um,
we'll see. We knew that too. We knew that when we
mhm.
started, it was going to help us. Because I would say the same thing for me. Like, in a postpartum period, obviously I had a baby last year. We moved across the country. We knew that we were only going to be living in this city for a year, and then we would be moving again. So it was just like perpetual transitionary period, which I think the listeners know that already. But this podcast has literally been holding me in a
Mhm.
way that I could never even imagine.
Mhm.
And I was, before we even decided, I mean, we just obviously decided to do this topic before now, but I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, I got to figure out a way to thank Jessica. Like, thank you so much, because you committed to saying, you said yes to doing this podcast. You've been showing up every week doing the podcast. She's the editor of the episodes. She releases them, she posts them on all the platforms. um she is vulnerable and raw, and is offers a balance, I feel like, to the episodes. that I without a doubt could not do this by myself. So thank you. Thank
Yes,
you to
thank
my
you.
my
Same, and thank you.
thank you, because this has been so uplifting. It's time for myself. It's
Mhm,
time, like you said, it's talk therapy, it's social time. It's I get
mhm.
to dress up and look pretty.
Right.
So thank you for showing up and committing to this during your transitionary period, because
Yes,
you could have said, I'm not doing this.
and thank you for inviting me. But I said yes because that was one thing that I noticed with this transitionary phase that I'm in. It's how have I been honoring myself, right? And through our voice series, I recognize, or the power of you, recognize I didn't have any power. I was not operating my power. I didn't feel like I had any power. Through the interviews that we've had with people, it's like I just have had reminders of, hey, this is who you were.
Mhm.
This is who you stopped being. Now
Yeah.
come back to yourself.
Yeah.
Come back. And so every time I feel like, with each episode, I unlock another door, unlock another door, unlock another door,
Mhm.
and it's just divine ascension, just going up the steps, and to my freedom,
Mhm.
basically. And
Mhm.
when you're in a state of transition like I am, when it specifically comes to a major relationship that's ending, you are not the same person. And then part of you wants to cling on to who you are. You want to cling on to what you know.
Mhm.
And then it's like, well, that's not good. That's not healthy, right? You have to be able to move on. But how do I honor myself and be grounded as I'm moving forward?
Mhm.
Because it is very easy to lose yourself in the emotions, in the grief, in the, you know, all the stuff that happens, that comes with it. And of course, it changes depending on what the reason is for a loss of a relationship.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I lost more than one.
Yeah.
One of my best friends too. So
Yeah.
that in itself that was a whole transition of, and still is sometimes, of where I go back to thinking like, now I think I recognize, I'm like, I am a completely different person than who she even knew.
Mm.
I am not the same. And it just makes me go back to, thankfully, so glad that we were able to interview Sarah Makiba Days, and she recommended reading books by the Somays. And in one of the books, they mention that with everywhere that you travel, with everything that happens in your life, you are a different person. And that's one thing that you and I know from watching Next Level Soul,
Yeah.
from watching, all of these different things.
Yeah.
Every morning that we wake up, we are someone new. Who are you choosing to be?
Yes. I'm halfway in and halfway out, I would say, in a writers group, because I
Mm-hmm.
haven't been able to participate in the group fully. But the lady, there's a I'm just gonna mention this briefly. There's a lady, we have a WhatsApp group, and the lady, I just read her message yesterday. She said, "Happy birthday, all." She says, "I say happy birthday to everybody every morning because we are new. We are reborn again every day. We're."
Okay.
I was like, "What? I've never heard that before."
Wow.
So it's
Not
exactly
to say
what
happy
you said.
birthday. That's cool though.
Yeah. Why is she telling us happy birthday? But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's that same
Mm-hmm.
concept. But yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
you are a different person, and
And we can choose. You can choose who you want to, like. You
yeah,
could wake up. I'm Alyssa the writer today,
I know,
and
I
I'm gonna make
know.
sure it happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's something to um be said about being in transition and still showing up for yourself. One of the main things that this time period has shown me is that I can't do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Mm-hmm.
hold everybody's problems, pain, emotions. I have to hold myself. And this is how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Prioritize the things that are good for you release what is not yours. Just the person that I am. Moving back, I knew that moving back to Florida, I would now be immersed into our family's issues. My side, his side. And, that was very anxiety provoking for me because I don't, being away, we were able to have some like a major, like thousands and thousands of miles of disconnection, just physical space. And
Mhm.
now that we're back in the state of Florida, even though we don't live in the same city, the space is closer, and I can feel, the just whatever is going on. And so I had to be intentional about taking care of myself and not taking on the problems of the people that are in our family.
So when you were in transition prior to what you're in now, it was a little bit easier, you think?
Yeah, it was easier. Well, I didn't realize that I was doing it because that's just who I am.
Mhm.
It's just like, oh yeah, I can talk to them, I can listen to them, and I can be up all night thinking about solutions for this person. And I'm gonna call them the next morning. I'm gonna tell them I
Yeah.
can do that. But now that I have the transitions before me having children, like
Mhm.
I didn't have to take care of two other people. I
Right.
didn't have to be attentive to two other people. I could take care of myself in my own time. Now that I have two little other humans that I'm taking care of, I'm putting myself on the back burner for them. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Obviously, I'm doing it for them, but I'm not doing that for everybody else. And then me last after everybody else.
Mm,
No,
can't do it. You will not be sane. You
no.
will not be sane. Now, look, I understand now. I always said, why does my mom always like go shopping? This is when I was a kid. Mom, if mommy, if you're listening, like just hear me out. I'm like, why is she talking about going shopping? She always going to buy herself something brand new, and then she complaining about the bills. And I thought about this week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I get it. Because guess what? She wouldn't get nothing new if she didn't do that. She wouldn't have a moment of peace for herself. I'm like, that was her moment of peace, was going to let me go and find something nice that I would like.
Yes,
And I'm like, I get
yes,
it now. Let me
yes,
go and find something nice that I like.
yes.
Because that's one way that I withhold joy from myself, is I don't I don't
Buy new
buy stuff for
things.
myself. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then to your point about holding stuff for other people, holding stuff for family, even our friends, they're like family.
Hmm.
I realized too that that's one of the ways that I have changed, that actually makes it easier to get through transitions, when you really have to make sure that you're holding yourself, is to make sure that you're not holding stuff for other people. And I have a friend who, she had something happen with her, and I was like, oh my gosh, yay, it's working out. And it worked out, but then now um, it's not no longer working out of her choice. I caught myself being like, but we just, and I said, but I said, oh shoot, this was not a we thing, Jess. This was not a we. This was a her. Like, let it go and focus on you. Because the amount of power, I'm sure you feel that now, right? The amount of power that you have energetically when you think about these people, when you think of things, is so strong that you do feel depleted when you're sending it in directions of others, especially when you have to take care of your children. I do feel like it's very different when we do have kids, and I know you feel that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had to let my friends go a long time ago. You already know that.
Yeah, yeah,
I would get
yeah.
migraines
Lord.
for the problems that the issues that would come up. I'm like, all right, now this is not my life, Alyssa. This is your friend's life, so you gotta let them be. Whatever they choose to do
Hmm.
is what they choose to do. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think holding yourself and holding yourself accountable and being dedicated to your own saving your energy for yourself and for your
Hmm.
household. We talk about taking care of ourselves, and but if you really think about, if you really assess yourself, like the areas of your life, like, can you really say that your body is being nourished?
Mhm.
Can you say, I have a healthy, my body is healthy. I do have a healthy spiritual life. My social life is full, or my romantic relationship is going good. There's so many different areas. Can you really say that you're attentive to all of them? And we know that there's,
Mhm.
at different times of your life, you're going to, give to one more than the other.
Yeah.
But if you are putting out all this energy towards make going to meetings, going to seeing this person, making this, just doing different things that are just depleting,
Mhm.
for what? How do you, how do you where's your life at? Where's your source going? Where is God is gonna be continuously telling you, hey, you need to bring it back. Hey, you need to bring it back. Hey, you need to bring it back.
That's where I think it's so important that we sit with ourselves. We have to also recognize, hey, you're in a transitionary moment of your life right now,
Yeah.
and not feel shame or feel bad, or or feel any sort of negative emotion
Oh yeah.
about it,
Oh yeah.
because you things do end up falling through the cracks. Things do end up slipping,
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, it's slipping because I'm trying to hold myself together through this.
Mhm.
It's like you can just take one right step after the next after the next, um, and taking that moment to pause and reflect is important.
Yeah.
It's so important, and that's what I forgot what you said the other day. I think you had said something like you didn't realize that I'm not recalling it too well, but I'm just going to say that for me, I didn't think, as someone who moved around a lot as a child, we were always in transition, right? I went to 4 different elementary schools. I went to 2 different junior high schools. Luckily, longest amount of time at school was in high school, you and me together. Okay. But even went to 3 different colleges. I'm like, I thought that once I got older, the transitions would be over.
Mm.
Like I would be able to pick, and it just continued, it continued and continued.
Mhm.
And I would say that this moment in time is different for me because I have expanded that connection where like I can no longer run away from the fact that the ancestors and God are speaking to me.
Mhm.
I can no longer, like, I have to make time to sit and be in union with the spirit realm,
Mhm.
or else I cannot move forward.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm sure I know you feel that because you had mentioned before, you were like, man, you fell off of, I forgot what it was. Was it your card pulls? I think you were like, oh, I haven't done a card pull in a long time. I have to go back to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
those darn cards are something else. Sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do it, but I think that one of the things too for me that has been helping me during this transitionary period is giving myself grace,
Mm.
and being honest. Like, if I want to eat whatever I want to eat, I'm going to eat
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Before, you already know, like postpartum baby number one, I was on vegan juicing. I was, you know, now you can see my face. And like, I, had a croissant this morning. It's but I go outside and walk whenever I want to go outside. I am in belly dancing. That is taking care of
Yes.
my body in a way that's
Mm-hmm.
more intentional, with the movement of my hips and my sacred womb
Mm-hmm.
area. And Donnell and I have also been intentional about taking time for ourselves, away from the children, and having date
Mm-hmm.
nights, and just having time, at nighttime, for ourselves. And yeah.
You bring up a good point there. Nurturing relationships. Like you have to nurture the relationships that are closest to you,
Mhm.
like while you're in that transition, because they can be a pillar for you to be and feel grounded. So. I know you've shared with me about your date nights and stuff, and every time you do, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, these are such good ideas. You know, the stuff, the different activities that you and your husband do. And I'm also like in awe. I'm like, wow, you know, my next go around. I'm like, I know. I know I could say I know because now also I know how to nurture myself. I do
Mhm.
feel like, okay, I can show up so much better in a relationship. Like it's would be, 10 times better
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
than before.
Yeah.
And thank you for being that example. And I'm so glad. I told you this before. Like, I am so glad that you have the knowledge. I know that you have knowledge from your, college schooling and careers, but also I do feel like you do have this intuitive knowledge and have been building on that, on how to foster and support relationships that support you.
Mhm.
And it's been amazing to watch that, considering, where I'm coming from.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm so glad I have you as a model for that.
Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate that. That's been something we've had good examples. Donnell's parents,
Mm-hmm.
my parents, they're both very intentional about having couples time, going on dates, traveling. Like Donnell's parents, they travel all the time. They do date nights all the time. My parents, they obviously they don't have any. None of them have children, small children, but we've had good examples, and we also, like you said, intuitively know, like, okay, we've been in couples therapy before. um and I think just because of the careers that we have been in, we could easily become very two robotic people. The medical industry is very robotic,
Mm-hmm.
and it causes you to cut yourself off emotionally because you have to be in situations where you cannot be too emotional with people.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't, your emotions are not just, okay, I have them on, now I have them off. You can't do that. You have to operate in your fullness. So there are things that you have to do to bring yourself back. We, like, okay, if Donnell, one of his rituals would be, after he came home from work, he has to go take a shower. Like, he cannot just come into the house. He's not able to do that now because our dynamics have changed. But when we first moved to Phoenix, his thing is let me go take a shower, let me have my time, and then I'll come out and be the full present person that you need me to be and have conversations. Before that, please do not. The water will transform him,
Mm-hmm.
bring him back to life, let the emotions flow so he can come and be. Otherwise, I'm just talking to him and he's just like, I don't know what you're saying. So, you have to
Mm-hmm.
be in tune with yourself, communicate with your partner. This is what I
Mm-hmm.
need. This is what I need from you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it hasn't been easy. I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
But yes, with we have been able to tune into ourselves and be honest, completely honest. You cannot be afraid to say, I don't like that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or let's try something different, or oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, I really like that, thank you so much. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Look, that water is
Yeah,
cleansing.
I
Water
think
is
back to that now.
renewing.
I'm like, oh wow, he didn't even realize that's what
Mm-hmm.
he was doing. He was literally
Mm-hmm.
like cleansing himself. I mean, he loves taking showers anyway, but he was cleansing himself. He was bringing himself back. Like,
The energetic body and the physical body. Mm-hmm.
yes, yes. And I'll be like, you really got to go take a shower. I would be so mad. I would be
And
so
so,
mad.
but you see, because that's one thing that I know. Offline we were having a discussion about people pleasing,
Mhm.
and when you're in a moment of transition, you can't be a people pleaser. You're gonna be
No.
miserable. And
Yes.
I know that we're both working on letting that go pretty well. We're doing a good job, I think.
Yes. Even if it's coming with guilt, we're letting it
Right,
go.
just a
We're
little bit. It
letting it
just is.
go.
But that's one thing that I know that I did for sure in my relationships, was that I just, I guess I could say, let people walk all over me, but not for them to do it intentionally. It's
Mhm.
just me, just like, okay, do you like this? No, but I'm not going to say it because they can have whatever they want,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm.
And it has taken practice for me to speak up. And also, I realize now, like, if someone really cares about you, if someone really loves you and really wants to be there for you, they want to know that you're not comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not gonna just neglect you. They're not gonna say goodbye.
Right. Right.
Like, I don't want to be around you. And if they do, then you don't need them in the first place.
Right. Right. You're
Hmm.
absolutely right. So we're gonna move on to our next segment of I Said What I Said, and I'm going to share my own manifestation. I'm going to speak from my heart. I did not type it out or write it down today because I want it to be messaged specifically from my heart and from the Holy Spirit about what I am trusting will happen for myself and my family during this period of transition. Last year, during this time, I was doing the exact same thing, preparing to move, the exact same time frame, organizing, cleaning, throwing out, planning, looking at dates, move in, move out, move, this time I feel a lot more settled. I'm not as anxious. I was extremely anxious, maybe because I had like a 2 month old. I don't know. Last time I was thinking about the age that Alina was. She was 3 years old, and then just thinking about me moving. My dad was in the military, so I've also moved around a lot. And so just thinking about sometimes like I would go away to a friend's house and I would come back and my whole house would be packed up, and then we would be going to a new house.
Wow.
I'm like, where's my stuff at? Oh, so
Wow.
I was very intentional about including Alina, and so her seeing the things going into the boxes and seeing the things come out of the boxes. Yes, here's my stuff. Like, I
Yes.
was very, very intentional about that, and it would be so funny because Donnell would be like, I think you're he was a therapist. He like, I think you're being triggered right now. I think the
Aw.
way that you lived when you were younger is bringing up a lot of emotions for you. And I would be like, what are you talking about? I'm not being triggered. It's like, okay, let's
Mhm.
just take some deep breaths. You can do this the way you want to. So he was very good at calling out, like, you got some deep, because so we mirror each other. So sometimes I'll say something, and if it's not landing for him, he would be like, no, I think that's kind of your stuff. You need to examine that because that's not what I'm feeling.
Mm.
Like, okay, maybe I do. So this time I'm feeling more settled, more at peace. I'm not anxious.
Mhm.
I'm more trusting that things will go the way that they need to go. Alina's older, so she understands the move. She knows she wants to move.
Oh, wow.
She came
Good.
home while we were driving home from the Keys on Saturday. She said, I don't love Tampa.
Oh my gosh. 'Cause she said, "Mom, you showed me a whole new world, and this is where I want to be."
I know. I'm like, okay, girl. Yeah, she doesn't like it, so
Wow.
she's
But that
ready to
speaks
move.
volumes. Aren't you so glad that was not your forever place?
I know.
Not
I
that
know.
I just have to say, look, I can barely get it out. Transitions sometimes feel like they're working against us, but everything works out for us
Yes.
at all times.
Yes. 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 100%. I truly believe that. So, right now I am manifesting a peaceful moving process with um organization, planning, smooth delivery, smooth packing process, safety for me and my family as we travel and move. We have to be away from each other because we're moving sooner than we thought. So I'm calling in from the Lord of safety for myself and my kids and for Donnell as we are going to be separated, as well as overflow of abundance and resources and people support in the new places that we're going, the new place that we're going to be moving to. I always find good people. I'm trusting and believing that. I'm calling in a fabulous hairdresser. I'm manifesting a fabulous hairstylist. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to drive to Tampa to get my hair done. Um, Providers, supportive birth worker community. We've already been shown some things with Donnell and his work. The people are amazing. The environment for the children is going to be amazing. And so I'm believing that my people will come and show up for me as well.
And will.
Um, I am calling in fun, manifesting
Mm.
fun. Um, I want Alina to learn how to swim uh, this summer. She's been in lessons more than once. And so we're going to put her in lessons again. I want her to learn how to swim. I want baby Donnie to be more comfortable in the water. I want to be able to sleep more.
Mm.
The weaning process is starting. Breastfeeding with the baby. I don't know when we're going to be done, but I'm trusting my intuition and knowing that it's going to be soon. I'm also manifesting a peaceful transition for Donnell out of fellowship. He's going to be done with his training and starting working as a full blown orthopedic spine surgeon on his own
Wow.
after the summer. So, whew, thank God we're done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm calling in all the support um, that is needed for that and just success all around. I'm also manifesting for me a postpartum group that I'm going to be starting in June that is full of souls, moms that want to be nourished and held. I'm calling in nourishment and healing for myself with that it be reciprocal. Um, and that it be amazing, overflow, emotional, spiritually healing, uplifting, encouraging, and abundance, overflow of abundance in the form of money and connections.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just a beautiful, peaceful summer for our family leading into the rest of the year. So that is what I'm manifesting.
Yes. I love it. That was so good. And I want to have our listeners and viewers join me. And if you're watching on YouTube, um, I did this before on the pod, and we're going to do it again. Surrounding you, Ilissa, with light. See a bright golden or white light surrounding her. If you're listening, then you can imagine her name, Ilissa, surrounded in light, and just hold a moment and allow that light to shine and glow as we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. It is done.
Thank
All of
you.
it.
Yes, I accept it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. We'll report back.
Yes. Yes, that
We'll
was so
report
good.
back. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. But let's
So,
move on
mm-hmm.
to our next segment, which is I got
Yes.
an herb for
Boom,
that.
boom.
Um we are doing rue.
Mm-hmm.
We
Rue, one of my favorites.
yes. I don't think I've ever consumed rue. I've only had it in spiritual baths, cleansing of the house, Florida water, just cleansing,
Yeah.
but I've never actually drank it as a tea or infusion or anything, so I need to probably get some more. I'm gonna be getting some anyway because I have to clean the house that I'm moving to
Yes.
spiritually
I
with
love
some
it. I
more.
love the smell of it. I love the taste of it.
Hmm.
So we'll get to this, but I was telling Ilissa before we started recording that as an herbalist, sometimes you learn some hard lessons. I
Oh.
love rue so much. I said, Lord, cleanse me with this rue, cleanse my energy and protect me. So much so that I drank too much. You're not supposed to do a an infusion with rue. I did a 24-hour infusion. I drank that, woke up the next morning feeling nauseated, and I thought I was sick. Couldn't get out of bed, went back to sleep, got up, I was fine.
Hmm.
Looked up what happened, And apparently, if you have too much rue, it does cause nausea. So
Hmm.
don't drink too much. It's a
Yes.
potent medicine.
Yes. Yes. So, rue, the Latin name is Ruta graveolens. Clinically, it is an antispasmodic. It relieves spasms in the muscles and digestive tract. It is also used traditionally for menstrual cramping, muscle tension, and digestive issues. It is anti-inflammatory. It reduces inflammation externally and internally. Sometimes people use it in compresses, salves for arthritis, sprains, and bruises. We know that it's antimicrobial. It fights bacteria, which is why people use it for cleansing, specifically like floors, walls,
Mm-hmm.
just baseboards. Um, but it's also for the skin, obviously. It is antimicrobial, used in wounds or infections. It is a circulatory tonic. It stimulates the blood flow and strengthens fragile blood vessels, and sometimes can be used to treat varicose veins and improve circulation. It is an emmenagogue, so it does stimulate menstrual flow, meaning you should not take it if you are pregnant because it will bring the blood on.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a nervine. It calms the nervous system. So it can be used to treat anxiety, nervous tension, or even insomnia. It says rue is potent and toxic in high doses. It can cause photosensitivity, which is sensitivity to sunlight, and severe reactions if misused. It is used today mostly under the supervision of a trained herbalist or externally.
Yep. Hey, look, I'm trained now.
Yes. The medicine will teach you. Well, Empress Karen, my teacher, my herbal teacher, she tells us that some medicine will bring you up if you're vibrating too low. You're not going to be able to, you have to, the medicine will bring you up to it. If it's a medicine that vibrates high, if it's a plant that naturally vibrates higher, you're going to be brought up. And sometimes how that happens is you have to release, meaning you're going to be nauseated and you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
diarrhea. You have to
Mm-hmm.
vibrate. The medicine is not going to meet you at your level. You have to meet it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
That's why
that's
we
what
love
rue
these herbs.
is.
It, girl, it sure is. The amount of dreams and stuff that I had too. But look, you guys, I paired it with passion flower. So you know I was out.
Relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
relaxed.
When I say I could feel the hum of my being,
Yes. Yes.
just zened out, not productive,
Yes.
productively relaxing.
So what are the spiritual properties?
Yeah, that's what I needed. So, um, we have here the Herbal Astrology Oracle. This is the guidebook for Adriana Ayales, who was one of our herbal teachers for Ilissa and I. We took a class with her called Cosmic Herbalism. And so she has these cards. And if you are watching on YouTube, you will see the card. This is the card of Rue. Oop, it's getting a little fuzzy. There we go. And you'll notice that it says Rue Protection.
Mhm.
For those of you who are listening, there is a lion with the rue plant surrounding its head and angels blowing trumpets in the back. It's beautiful, a beautiful card. But so as far as the guidance for Rue, according to Adriana Ayales, also she is the owner of Anima Mundi, which is an herbal store. It says Rue is said to be the herb of angels, granting us the ability to channel the angelic realms. It emanates golden energy, like a lion, powerfully protecting and pouring in light into any space that it inhabits. Resilient, like the wide array of solar herbs, it grows generously and abundantly, thriving in all kinds of terrain, demonstrating its strong life force and vitality. Rue reminds you to protect your aura from lurking and possessive spirits that might be consuming your energy. Don't allow parasitic negativity to darken your field, which can create perpetual states of self criticism, self doubt, or self hatred. Call upon Ru's power to shield your body with angelic forces and restore radiance, vitality, and love in your atmosphere.
Mhm.
And I want to circle back. The state of self criticism, self doubt, self hatred. I don't think enough people realize, know, recognize that those type of states, when you're feeling that toward yourself, those are negative energies working against you.
Mhm.
Though that is not working for you.
Mhm.
And I'm someone who lived with that for a long time.
Mm.
And it's something that our even society perpetuates
Mhm.
because, you know, even as a teacher, like, oh man, what am I don't think I did this well. I don't think I did that well. What do I need to do? I
Mhm.
have my it's called a formal when the principal comes in and watches you teach. It's like, well, I have this coming up. Oh, they're going to pick me apart. You know, in so many of our jobs, we are picked apart in
Yeah.
everything with everything
Yeah.
that we do.
Yeah.
And so we learn to do it to ourselves.
Mhm.
You are perfectly made. Yes, you can improve, but you are improving on something that is already perfection.
Yeah.
And we have to act and behave as such.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Rue's a good one. It's specifically for cleansing and purification, and it's a herb that's used in Afro Caribbean cultures, in the Caribbean, specifically African people
And it smells
in
so good.
Jamaica, Trinidad, Costa Rica, Panama, um, Guyana, all the African indigenous cultures, Caribbean cultures in that area. Rue is just like an automatic um, plant or herb that's used a lot for
Yeah.
specifically for cleansing, spiritual baths. Like I said, I've had it before in a spiritual bath when I did a womb healing session. It wasn't a session; it was like a, I don't even know what was, a course or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, with Sylvia. Hopefully, we can have Sylvia on the podcast soon.
Yes.
I've been trying to let her rest. She just recently had a baby.
Yeah.
Um, so she had us make a moon water with
Hmm.
rue and put it in a bath and spiritually cleanse ourselves.
Hmm.
Just from doing the cleansing your womb of just past things,
Yeah.
past lives, past traumas, whatever. It's extremely powerful.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, you can make a wash with it for your floors, for your house. I plan to do that when I move to the next house to cleanse everything down, as well as do a house blessing. I always bless every house that we go into. Um, so, yes, make sure you get some rue, guys.
Yes, you know, I've been blessing my house actually with salt water, because
Mhm.
salt water is cleansing, clearing, energetically, and I
Mhm.
put rue in it,
Mhm.
and I'm like, this is potent, okay,
Mhm. It is.
very potent.
Mhm, it
It's so
is. It
good,
is.
and it's I get it from you will not believe where I get it from. Not no herbal shop. I get it from Fancy Fruit, the Hispanic
Mhm.
produce store.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
for a dollar and change for some, just like a
Exactly.
half ounce of it dried.
Exactly.
And I'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah,
let me
no.
re up. I'm so glad they have it there.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna move on to witchy shit. Jessica was talking about my card pulls. I have oracle card decks, several different ones. I haven't really shared that on a podcast before, but we I have a new one. It's created by a black lady who we've already interviewed, and we were going to be releasing her episode soon. Her deck is called African Starseed Oracle, the Sirius influence, specifically how the planet Sirius has influenced African origins in Africa in general, who we are as a people.
Mhm.
If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, go find it out and look it up.
Get with it.
But so she has a oracle deck, beautiful, beautiful cards. The illustrations are just amazing. Comes with a little guidebook, and just so beautiful. But the card that I pulled today was called Priestess Warrior. Love is your best weapon.
Mm,
And so this card, which is the
that's
illustration
so
is
pretty.
just, oh my goodness, amazing. So this card is, it says there were times in the past when women who were dedicated to the divine feminine temples had to wield weapons and fight to fend off men who wanted to establish a system of patriarchy that is now present in the world. Today, the battle is to be fought with swords that draw love rather than swords that draw blood. This type of battle is perhaps more difficult because it requires finesse and learning how to lead with love. Where are you battling yourself? Where are you being unforgiving of
Mm.
someone? How can you add more love to your mental diet so that you can exude love? Love is your best weapon.
When you show love to yourself, you know how to give it to others. That's what this whole
Mhm.
series has been about.
Mhm.
Nourishing ourselves is loving on ourselves.
Mhm.
And when we feel that, we know exactly what it looks like to give it to others.
Mhm. Yes.
Mm,
I would second that. Amen.
that was a nice message.
Yeah, it was really nice. I really like the lady. Her name is Sanaa Green.
Hmm.
You can go to her website called centerherpower.com and get the Oracle deck. You know, we want to support our Black people, especially when they
Yes.
come out with Oracle decks. I just love Oracle decks or affirmation decks. And so these cards are just beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm looking, look at this one. This is, ooh, I've never seen this one before. Disappointed Healer.
Mm, wow.
That one is pretty.
Hmm. I'm definitely gonna put her website in our. Oh, that is nice.
Divine
That is
Masculine. Yeah,
nice.
that is nice. I know. I love back muscles on a man.
I know. Look, I'm like that's real nice.
I know. I know. It is like, okay, let's show that again.
Yes, go to YouTube, y'all. If you're not on
Divine
YouTube,
Masculine. That's what that card
the
is.
Divine Masculine card is beautiful.
Yes. Oh, and this is the last one I'm gonna show. Generational Healer.
Ooh,
Breaking
I could
family
feel that
curses.
card.
Yeah.
Wow,
This one is really good.
wow.
Really, really good.
We'll make sure to put the link in the show notes so you guys can just click on that and
Yeah.
go to Sanaa's website.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. We're going to be taking a break within the next few weeks. We're gonna have a amazing series. I can't wait for you guys to see the interviews that we are doing for this series that we created, Black women and their spiritual gifts.
Yes.
And so, but after those episodes, we will be taking a recording break for the summertime to honor our transitions and honor ourselves and know that things come in rhythms. And we will be back. We will be back in the fall with new episodes, but we're going to release old episodes so that people can re-listen to them again, or new people can listen to them. But so those older episodes will be coming in July. You'll get new episodes for June. And we're excited, so stay tuned for our next series, which is Black women in their spiritual gifts.
Yes. Love it, love it, love it.
Yes, yes. Alrighty, and then go to if y'all are needing any of the herbs that we talked about, most of them Jessica sells on her website in tincture form or in tea form. Please visit her website at highvibeherbals.com. And follow us on Instagram at Keep Expecting Miracles Pod.
Yes.
Share. Oh,
We
I wanted to shout out my aunt Helena. She gave us our
yes.
first donation for our
Yes, thank you
monetary.
so much.
Yes, thank
Thank you
you. Our
so
first
much.
monetary donation to our podcast. We're so grateful. It was unsolicited. She just called me, was like, "Hey, I'm doing this. I want to give this to you guys here. I want to Zell you." I'm like, my
Aw,
great aunt Helena, who lives out in California. I thank you. I
yes,
thank
thank you
you.
for
Love
seeing
you.
us.
Yes, love you, Aunt Helena.
But we also have to say one more thing because ISIS Maternal Health and Wellness has an event coming up.
Oh yes. Yes. If you guys know anybody that is in the first 2 years of postpartum, like myself, please refer them to my page, Isis MHW on Instagram. I am having a virtual support group for mothers in postpartum. And in that support group, we're going to be diving into the postpartum journey, postpartum healing with meditations, with sharing, just support. Um, Things happen when you are able to talk and communicate with people who are going through the same things as you. And so that's what I need right now. So that is what I want to offer to other people. So I can be fed and I can also feed and nourish other people. So go to ISISMHW. That is my Instagram. Sign up on Eventbrite. Send me a message. I'll send you the link. The link is in my bio already. Send it to somebody that you know. It
Hmm.
starts in June and it goes for 6 weeks, once a week for
Yes.
6 weeks.
Hey, and send this episode to someone that you know as well.
Yes,
Have them
share.
know you loved it. Share, please share our episode, and we'll have the link to Alyssa's event in the show notes here as well.
Yes. All righty. Thank you guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye bye.
Bye.